त्वमेव सर्वं मादेव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मादेव देव. Mantra number 5. Yasva vijnanavan bhavati ayuktena manasa sada tasyendriyani avashyani dushtasva iva sarathe yastu vijnanavan bhavati yuktena manasa sada tasyendriyani vashyani sadashva iva sarathe yastva vijnanavan bhavati amanaskas sada shuchi yastva vijnanavan bhavati amanaskas sada shuchi nasa tadpadamapnoti samsaram chadigacchati nasa tadpadamapnoti samsaram chadigacchati. You see, the consequences or the result of one set of sarthi and reins, one set of driver and the reins, and the consequences of the end to the another set. One category is avijnanavan and amanaska. Doesn't know the priorities, no clarity, and mind is not mastered, then the horses will rule the person. Here horses will follow the person. What happens to them? When the life is driven by sense organs, in a way, when the life is driven by your fancies, that is the effect, the follow. What is the result? And when the life is driven by cognition, clarity about the goal, priorities are proper, and you have mastery over the mind, where do you reach? That is taught in these 3 mantras. The first mantra talks about the person whose life is governed by fancies. Sense organs bring the stimuli and fancy is provocated and he goes by that. Amanaskaha sadash ashuchihi. As we said in the morning, there is always a war, Mahabharata war, inside, between the cognitive person and emotive person. Our emotions and our understanding. All the expressions of emotions are nothing but in terms of raga dvesha. Emotion, both ways, okay. Your raga dvesha express as emotions, or emotions express, manifest as a raga dvesha. That's how the things are. Love is also raga dvesha, anger is also raga dvesha, jealousy, whatever, compassion, all is nothing but expression of raga dvesha. Now, this, and here also you should know when we say raga, doesn't mean the raga for money or some pleasure object or pearl or diamond, no. Anything, any value which is strong is raga. There can be raga for how the other person should behave. There can be raga how the thing should be, how things should not be. There can be raga how it should happen, how it should not happen. Beginning from chapati, dal onwards, there is a raga. These raga dveshas, you see, there is one thing one should know here. Vijnana Sarathi, next month I will call, often create a pressure, emotional pressure, where person is helpless. The person who, as I told you those cases, when the person murdered the other guy and then realized, but those moments of pressure, he doesn't know, he or she doesn't know. They are driven by those likes and dislikes. They are driven by that particular emotion. That is the helpless state. That helplessness of a baby in terms of handling emotion. When a toy is not given, the baby makes tantrum. I want it. Or something is, baby is asked to do something which it doesn't want to do. It makes tantrum. That tantrums are taking place here. You may not express it out, but they are there. There is always a feeling because of that pressure. If you have some relative mastery, you don't express them so much, there is a feeling, Swamiji, my luck is bad. What should not have happened has happened to me. And what should have happened has not happened to me. My life is yo-yo. And they turn into certain emotions where you lose your discrimination. At that moment, person is helpless. Criminal often is helpless. He or she is not in control. He has no awareness about what he or she is doing. That person needs help. Helpless guy needs help. The pressure is so much that person is not willing to listen anything. Because of that pressure of emotion, he or she thinks, I am Mr. Right or Miss Right. This has to be this way. You don't know, keep quiet. It's a pressure. At least in our life, we should have, at least cognitively, this value. When I am helpless, I seek help. That is bhakti. That is prayer. Whatever form of the God or whatever method you pray, pray and seek help. When I am helpless to myself, you help me to gain some stability, some composure, some sense whereby I will not cross the boundaries. That is the first thing that one should ask for, to get rid of helplessness. As I said, that person is not ready to listen anything. But if there is a cognitive value, some bhakti may help him, the person, in course of time. So the Vijnanavan, Avijnanavan means he doesn't have that value also. I need help. helpless, you should seek help. But this person doesn't accept that. And then they get it builds another emotional pressure and problem, especially where you are in lock-in situation. What lock-in situation? Especially in relationship. I want someone to change. And that person refuses to change. For whatever reason, doesn't change. And I cannot give up the person also. I cannot walk away from that person, but I want to change. Unfortunately, the other person also wants you to change. That's a problem. That is lock-in situation. Both of them want each other to change. And they say this, the bottom line, what is the thinking? I am right. That's what both think. That's where accident happens. Highway, then accident takes place by overtaking, or I was right, and that fellow says I was right. Somebody is coming on highway, and this fellow is going. Both are right. They thought he should stop, and this fellow thinks he should stop, and both reach at the same point. That lock-in situation, this is Raga Dvesha problem. This is emotional problem. That lock-in situation arises in the life because of Raga. You should not do like this. You should do this. Other person also wants. And the strong Raga Dveshas, that is amanaskaha, that leads to ashuchi, that builds pressure. And to avoid ashuchitva, why ashuchi? Because the papam comes only out of pressure. I quoted the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, when Arjuna asked, what is the cause of person committing papa? Maybe wrong values. But then here the fellow doesn't want to do. Anichannapi varshne. He or she doesn't, he feels I should not do it. Baladiva niyojana. Forcefully the fellow is pushed to do. That situation better. That Bhagavan says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhava, Mahasano, Mahapapam, Papam, Viddhi etam ya vairinam. This Kama Krodha is an expression of Raga, nothing else. So this is Raga and Dvesha is Mahapapa. That leads to Ashuchi. This pressure, amanaskaha, emotional pressure leads the person to compromise ethics, to compromise dharma, to compromise what is proper and improper. Then life becomes papal. And once they cut the corner and get the desired result, that fellow gains confidence. I can get away by doing this. And he repeats. And again the pressure adds, because the Vishaya's nature, Artha Kama being what it is, more you have, more you want. It is true for Artha, it is true for Kama. Since he or she wants more, and once or twice cutting corner he or she could get away, then it becomes habit. That is Ashuchi life. Once it starts, it goes. This is because amanaskaha, the person never addressed his emotions. This is where Karma Yoga helps. What you get may be less or opposite. You accept it. It's a grace of Ishvara. Equal or more, again you accept it. That there was a pressure to get something. And whatever you got, equal or more, less or opposite, there is new pressure. I want it. If I got more pressure of I can do that and I want more. If I didn't get it, then there is anger and all kinds of emotions. So this is, the person should have some prayers in the life. This fellow will have no prayers. Ashuchi, slowly. Nasatatpadamapnoti samsaram charigachati. And that person will not gain moksha. Padaniyam, varaniyam, that which is sought after. He will go to samsara. Samsara means cycle of birth and death. Cycle of dukkha. That is samsara. Fire to frying pan and from frying pan to fire. This goes on. That is samsara. It's because of lack of clarity about the goal and lack of capacity to manage emotions. And their bhakti or awareness of about Ishvara is involved. The opposite is talked about, one who doesn't have this pressure, who doesn't succumb to his emotions. Emotions don't hijack his or her wisdom. What's the life? Yastu vijnanavan bhavati samanaskas sada shuchi satu tatpadam apnoti yasmat bhuyo najayate yastu vijnanavan bhavati samanaskas sada suchi satu tatpadam apnoti yasmat bhuyo na jayate. Again, yes, together. Yes, yes, to the one on the other hand, to which on the other hand, this one, Vijnanavan Bhavati, who has discriminative intellect, who has a Viveki. Buddhi is a Viveki. Buddhi has studied dharma. Buddhi is conscious about kartavya. And samanaska sadashuchi. Therefore, at the same time, he is disciplined. Mind is disciplined. There is emotions are the capacity, he has developed the capacity to handle those emotions. Upheavals of the emotion, earthquakes of the emotions are not there. And therefore, Sadashuchi, he remains ever pure. Satu, that person, Tatpadam apnoti, he gains that goal, he reaches to that abode, Yasmat bhuyo najayate, from which he is not born again. So he gets freedom from birth and death. The previous shloka said samsaram charigachati. He gets into cycle of birth and death. Here he says this fellow gets freedom from birth and death. In other words, mukto bhavati, he becomes free. Freedom from birth and death means freedom from dukkham. There is no dukkha. See, what does it mean? Gnanavan Sarathi. Charioteer is intelligent. He has a discriminative capacity about dharma, adharma, kartavya, akartavya, and a disciplined mind also. You may have very sharp intellect, some discrimination, but if the mind is not disciplined, emotions are not handled properly. You have not addressed your own emotional issues. As Swami used to say, you cannot bypass your emotions. Unconscious. Those vulnerable areas have to be addressed. They have to make the mind disciplined. That person, to which I said the person who has a space here, not flooded with strong lights and dislikes. The person has a space. And therefore, sada shuchihi. Okay? So, mind control, when it is there, naturally sense control will follow. Though Shastra keep telling, mano indriya nigraha, you have to master your senses. But you don't need to master. Senses are servants. You see, they behave according to the master. You have to learn to manage the mind, then the rest is automatic. They don't have power. They are just a messenger. Passes the message. It is like this WhatsApp. This WhatsApp application you have, then messages come. Telephone doesn't disturb you. I will stop WhatsApp. No message come. Therefore I am not disturbed. That's not a solution. Solution is that in spite of the message coming, I can stop myself from not seeing it. That's all. Similarly, in the sense organs give stimuli, the contact with the world. They may create a disturbance, but then I am able to manage difficult situations. Unpleasant situation will come. Even a seeker has. Everybody will have a share of failures and problematic situations. But I don't lose myself in this situation. That is called samanaskaha, composed person who can manage his or her emotions. And when that is there is no need to control the sense organs. They will be, because as I said, they are messengers and executors. They follow the order of the boss. They themselves are not capable of disturbing unless you empower them. So also here, samana. Therefore, sadashuchihi, this fellow will live a life of dharma. Because he will live a life within the boundaries of dharma. Never cross those boundaries, because clarity is there about the goal and mind is disciplined, so that life will be clean. Shuchihi means pavitrata, purity. We saw in the morning, not cleanliness, simple. Shuchihi means purity, and purity means living a contributory life, living a life of dharma. Ashuchihi means impurity, living a life of adharma, unethical approach. So, this fellow, he lives a pure life. Symbolizing that, the seeker should have or would have a clean mind, pure mind, pavitra manaha. Therefore, in all our traditions, seekers wear white clothes. The white color, they say, it is a color of peace. Indian flag color, that's how we were taught. It is not simply color of peace, And the orange color is color of valor, shaurya, color of purity. And white, if there is some dust particle, you immediately notice it is there. If it is cowboy jeans, the person behind you only will know how many days he has not cleaned. It is like our Saurashtra farmer China. There are these farmers in Saurashtra wear a typical pajama. Up to this it is so tight to the skin. Absolutely. Dressed open or on the bottom, above the knee, it is all open, you might have seen. Wearing that particular pajama itself is a project. Pull and pull and pull and pull and finally catch it. And removing is also a project. So they don't do the project. They will wear the same thing for weeks and months. So you know that fellow is coming. And sometimes they bathe also with the same thing. Now, you can't remove. It's not possible to remove. Removing itself takes 1 hour. Because sometimes somebody has to pull. This from down. It's so tight to the skin. Then when they got it stitched, it might be little loose, but then idiot picked up the weight. And then you cannot pull it out. So you don't know how much dust is there. When it is white, small dust particle is heavy, and you maintain that whiteness. To maintain purity, you have to be alert. Therefore, white is a color of purity. And orange is a color of knowledge, not simply valor, but the talk of orange color. It is a country which is committed to knowledge, not valor. That knowledge was respected. Anyway, so this white color, is for purity. Purity means space. Purity means never being driven by likes and dislikes. Always driven by dharma, which Bhagavad tells. That's purity. Satutat Padamapnoti. Both internal purity and external purity as well. He achieved that Padam. Padam means abode. Padaniyam gamaniyam. That which is sought after, that which is wanted, that which is desired, that which is the ultimate goal. He gains ultimate goal. Okay, I may get, what's the benefit? Yasmad bhuyo nadayate. Having gained that goal, there is no rebirth. Cycle of birth and death is over. That means total freedom from Yasmad bhuyo nadayate. He becomes free from dukkha. Now, yes, from where he or she is not born again, having gained which, what is it that exactly that is being clarified next? The first line of the mantra is same. Second line is that Padam is different. Okay. Jnanasaradheyastu manah pragrahavan naraha sodvanah paramapnoti Vishnu paramam padam Vijnanasaradhiryastu manah pragrahavan naraha Sodvanah paramapnoti tad Vishnu paramam padam. They are together. Somebody starts early, somebody starts slow. Vignana Saradhiriyastu Same thing, first line. Look at the previous one. Astu Vignanavan. There he says Vignana Saradhi. No? Vignanavan, who has discriminative intellect. Vignana Saradhi means whose charioteer is discriminative. Same thing. Manaf Pragrahavan Naraha Samanaskas Sadashuchi in the previous line, correct? Who has discerning intelligence and Pragrahavan, well controlled, well mastered, Naraha, Pragrahavan, Mana. That is, our mind is well controlled, same thing. What happens to that fellow? That fellow, na bhuyo jayate. He is not born and gains that padam. What is that padam? Second line. Saha advanaf param apnoti. Advan means road. Apnoti means gains. Param means the end of it. He reaches to the end of the road. Okay? That may advanaf param apnoti. What is the end of the road? That is Vishnoho Paramam Padam. So it is the supreme nature of Vishnu, the supreme abode of Vishnu. That's what they translate. The right translation is that's the supreme or the ultimate Swarupa of Vishnu, of Brahman. Okay. So Dvanaf Paramapnoti, a disciplined buddhi, which doesn't go around, is very clear about the moksha purusha, committed to moksha purusha. And then manav pragrahavan, they reach the final destination. Final destination is sarva samsara bandhanat mujyate. He or she becomes free from all the bondage of samsara. Okay? That means what? He is released from the shackles of samsara. Samsara is gone because the idea that aham samsara is gone. Samsara is there because samsari is there. Otherwise it is world only. This is Jagat. Jagat becomes samsara if you are a samsari. If you are not a samsari, then the samsara is reduced to Jagat. It doesn't bind you. Okay? It cannot bind you. World cannot bind you. Because you empower the world. You put value to the world and therefore feel bound. But as such world objects, nothing can. So, he becomes Advanaf Paramapnoti. That means Sarva Samsara Bandhanat Mukto Bhavati. Means free from the birth and death. Why he is free from birth and death? There is no karmas left. Sanchita, Agami, etc. is not there. Why? That Mundakopanishad mantra Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi Chidyante Sarva Samshaya Shiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drashte. That knot, which is Ahankara, is destroyed and all karma phalas are located on Ahankara. Ahankara is a substratum of all karma phalas. And when that substratum is destroyed, they all stand to be destroyed. There is no karma phalas for him. That is, Ahankara is gone. Okay. And gone means falsified. It discovered that this Ahankara was wrong. I never was. This is not the truth. Discovered the truth that Aham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, not Karta Mukta. That fellow he crosses the ocean of samsara. And because there is no karmas left. As the Shankaracharya or in Gita he says, Dakta Bijavat, they don't burn the karma, but as though like a roasted seed, they get roasted. They cannot fructify anymore, because Jivatma is not there. Located on Jiva. Jiva not being there, no karma can come to him. That's what Advana Paramapnoti. Therefore he crosses the samsara. And he says, Tad Vishnuho Paramam Padam. That is the absolute abode of the Vishnu. Okay? Now, one of the meaning of Padam is abode or a place. Okay? So, or residence is also called Padam. So he reaches to the residence of Vishnu. He goes to that loka, Brahma loka, Vaikuntha loka, Saket loka, some loka he must be going. That's what these Vaitins think. And therefore they want it. Bhagwan, take me to your loka. Dham mein chale gayi. They went into Dham. Param Dham Mama. They go to that Dham. One should know. Anything that is achieved in time T1 will come to end in time T2. It's a fact of it. How a long time it may all be held by T1 and between T1 and T2. But it is gone. One day it has to go. It cannot be permanent like this. So, Vishnu Loka going cannot be permanent. I achieved at a time T1, said that will be time T2 when I will be thrown out of it. So going to any loka is not moksha. Just as going anywhere in the world, you are not going to become permanently happy. You discover it. It's a myth. You feel that you will be better off. But not completeness is never found. So this fellow discovers that Vishnu, Paramam Padam, going around loka is not the solution. They interpret, they will go to Bhagavan's loka, Vaikuntha loka, Saket loka, etc. And if you are special, Bhagavan will send his personal driver. That's a Pushpaka Viman, will come for you. Otherwise you travel by bus, ordinary bus, which is meant for everybody. That is not solving. Because as I say, you have achieved a time T1. You have gone as a person with a time, you reach there, achieve a time T1, and that individual is different, is also limited. So they said that Vishnu Padam, you have to interpret properly. But Vishnu means what? Vyapanashilasya Vishnu. That which is all pervasive, that which is everywhere. Since it is all pervasive, since it is everywhere, Padam means Sthanam. Vishnu, Paramam, all Bhagavan. You cannot give loke to Sthanam that, and if at all location is given, it is your heart. Discover it as well. Discover yourself to be Vishnu Padam. That is the main Tatparya he wants to say. That when you say Sarva Vyapi, Vasudeva cannot be away from me. All pervasive, excluding me. And it is no more all pervasive. Minus one is there. It is not one. Everybody says so, including me. I cannot be Bhagavan. I cannot be Bhagavan. That's the usual feeling. So, Padam means not necessarily Vishnu Rupa. Padam means Padam. Vishnu means Veveshti Vyapnoti. That which is all pervasive. Since it is all pervasive, you have to recognize. Knowledge is Padam. That is gained in terms of knowledge. Who is the Vishnu? Those that Vishnu Padam or Sthanam Vasudevasya Sthanam, they say. Vasudeva ka amar kya hai? Vasusya Asudevasya. Vasudeva. That means what? That Vasusya, Vasati Sarvasminiti Vasu. One who resides in the heart of everybody. And Deva Dhyotanavan, it is ever shining. I remain Vasudeva. Ever shining Vasudeva is a chain that gains that ever shining, ever available. Sarvasmin Vasati iti Vasu. And it is ever shining in everybody. That means it is the consciousness. It is the Atma of all. That is what one has to recognize. Since it is Atma of all, and I know I am Atma, and I am also the self of all. It is Samatva Darshan. You see self in everybody, because you know the self. So that is Vasudeva, Vasudeva, Nan Vishnoho Paramam Padam. Okay? Now, Sattasmurti Pradata Vishnu is not away from me in any which way. And then that person can help me, grace me to reach to Vishnu Padam. Means I can pull up myself as please understand this. Travel that we are talking, we started with the Upma, journey. That journey is not external, it is internal. Had it been external journey, you need some vehicle, you need some space, you need some gas, and you need some action. The external journey, you have to reach. When the journey is internal, internal means owning up myself, what I am. So the problem is, when the journey is internal, you don't need anything except the knowledge. And one who gives knowledge is the path. And it not go to anyone else. So, no, but that's not true. He may give or may not give. First of all, you don't know how he or she gives. Because there is a methodology of giving this knowledge. Jaropa apadabhyam nishprapancha prapanchate. There's a methodology. So the teacher should know the methodology also. But I didn't know what is methodology, so I got connected to right teacher, matter ended there. But then you should know this being internal journey, this discovering of the self. It requires growth in terms of knowledge, because it is internal, it is to be discovered. So journey is not in terms of kilometers, journey in terms of my internal growth. How much have I grown? Not physically, that is taken care of by nature, but growing emotionally. So emotionally matured, emotionally grown up person alone will reach the Vishnu Padam. Okay. And what is maturity? Maturity is objective. That's all maturity is. Maturity is Vairagya. When there is a Vairagya and objectivity, then there is a possibility of reaching this Padam. And for that we need to have daily puja also, daily prayer also. To handle my unconscious. That grace, you seek grace, it is necessary. And mon subjectivity is raga, objectivity is raga dvesha abhava, absence of likes and dislikes. And you see the things as it is and deal with him, deal with the things as it is. If the Vishnu means all pervasive, that means it should be inclusive of me also. All inclusive. Nowadays they say Hindus are all inclusive, sarva samaveshya. Because we say sarve bhavantu sukhina. He never said, Hindavaha bhavantu sukhinah. Only Hindus should be happy. We didn't say Hindus only should be free from any pain. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Ma Hindu dukkha bhag bhavet, we didn't say that. Sarve santu niramay. May all be free from disease. May all enjoy the good health. We didn't say Hindu sarve bhavantu niramaya. No, that's not the case. So, when you appreciate Vishnu is all pervasive, then it includes everything. Everything is included, including myself. So there is no point. So Vishnoho Padam doesn't involve any journey as such. If at all journey is there, that journey is a cognitive journey. Understanding things. As you understand, proceed. And as you proceed, you understand more. The nature of the journey is totally different. And that being the case, Vishnu Padam cannot be a loka particular. If it is a loka, then those fellows who achieved all should not be unhappy. But they are unhappy. Our Jai Vijaya Dwarpalas, they have to be born as human beings. So that's the message of the story. So, you should be totally happy if you discover that. Why should you be unhappy? So the answer is Vasudeva Sarvamiti. It knows that Vasudeva is essence of everything and anything available on the earth. There is nothing away from Vasudeva. And that since it includes me, it is my nature. Journey is in terms of knowledge. There is no other journey. And knowledge breeds what? Growth, internal growth. I grow internally. And therefore it says Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam. Shankaracharya writes, what is that Vishnoho Padam? He says, Vyapanashilasya Vishnu, that which is pervasive. Brahmana, and that is all pervasive, is only Brahman. Brahmana, Paramatmana, Vasudevakhyasya Paramam Prakatam Pratam Sthana. So that's an abode of Paramatma. Vishnu is an abode of what? Paramatma. And then it is the abode of Brahmaji also. Abode of this Paramatma also. Means what? It is oneness. There is no secondness. Okay? Then they are giving Brahmana, Paramatmana, Paramam Guruhyam Padam Stha. That is the ultimate or most secret place of Brahman to hide itself. Tattvavidyetad asau apnoti, that he gains this padam and he gains that mukti. We'll talk about something more, how he gets tomorrow morning. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.